Hey, wrestling fans, F and True followers, members of the YWC. Brian Crazy.
JC Styles.
And we are F and True Wrestling. Back at you with our Night of Champions review. Night of Champions just went off the air just a few minutes ago. Pretty exciting event. Some outcomes we liked, some outcomes we didn't. We will discuss those as we go through the card. Major news, though. 2 new world champions. We'll discuss that in just a minute.
Yes.
But first things first, the dark match of the night. If you guys don't know, dark matches are non-televised. They're usually for the crowd only. It was a dark match before a Raw or SmackDown. You might see it on Superstars. We saw Daniel Bryan defeat Heath Slater, which Daniel Bryan's been on a recent losing streak, so it's good that he picked up a win.
Yes.
They really need to get the momentum back behind Daniel Bryan if they're planning on using him at 28 with the Money in the Bank, like he's been touting the last few weeks.
Yes.
Then we go into our first official match of Night of Champions. We see Air Boom go against one of the commentators, can't remember which one dubbed them this, the Awesome Truth, the team of Miz and R-Truth.
There was Evan Bourne and Kofi, really brought their game tonight. They, worked as a cohesive unit. We saw them do double cross body blocks. We saw them do the double drop kick. We saw them do a lot of tag team maneuvers, and that's something that's been missing in the tag team division for quite some time, is the double team moves. I mean, yeah, McGillicuddy and Otunga kind of, incorporated that, but since Hart Dynasty, there hadn't been a tag team that worked together like Kofi and Kofi and Evan do. We see the outcome of the match. We see The Miz get hot-headed after a kick out by, I believe it was Evan Bourne, and he kind of gets upset and pushes the Rev like pie faces and shoves him across the ring and gets him and his team disqualified.
Exactly. Miz lost his cool, got his team disqualified, but this is not the last time we will see Miz and R-Truth tonight. They will come into play once again. So like JC said, Air Boom won by disqualification. Then we see Cody go against Ted DiBiase for the Intercontinental Championship. This was a pretty solid match. Ted DiBiase was really on his game tonight. Cody Rhodes was really on his game tonight.
I was kind of hoping that they would have given the title to Ted because, it would give him something to do on television because, other than the whole Cody and the tag team thing that was going on with them, between the two of them for a while, they kind of lost Ted DiBiase in the mid-card shuffle on Raw. Then you kind of see him come back a little bit just to be bumped back down, and then you put him on a pay-per-view finally after, so many months, and, we see him, kind of get shafted.
Well, I think the biggest thing is Ted DiBiase did make it to the pay-per-view. He was back up in those ranks, and he fought a solid match. So the guys backstage are looking. They're seeing that Ted DiBiase does still have what it takes. He still can perform in front of that big crowd, and he can still meet expectations when the pressure is put on him. And I think that'll help him in future bookings. And maybe in 2 weeks at Hell in a Cell, maybe we'll see a rematch for the Intercontinental Championship between these two. It's quite a possibility. We only have a pay-per-view 2 weeks away, so a lot of the outcomes that happen tonight, 2 weeks from now, could be totally reversed. So that's something that you guys got to keep in mind as we're running through the rest of these predictions.
So the next match of the night, we saw the United States Championship defended in a fatal 4-way. We saw U.S. Champion Dolph Ziggler defend against Jack Swagger, John Morrison, and Alex Riley. Now, this was actually a pretty good match. I was kind of skeptical on the whole Vicky Guerrero, where her truth was going to lay, if she was going to go with where her trust would go with either Ziggler or Swagger.
But she did help out Swagger during the match.
She did, and then at one point in the match, it was retarded because Ziggler was yelling at Vicky, "Did you almost cost me the match, jackass? If she didn't put your Swagger's foot up on the rope, you would have lost the match."
Yeah, exactly. Well, you would have lost the title indirectly, yes, losing the match.
But it was an overall really good match. All 4 competitors really brought their A game. I was kind of upset that Alex Riley didn't
really
win.
Stepped up his game tonight. My God. This kid really impressed. He did an incredible job, and I can't wait to see more out of him. But at the end of the day, Dolph Ziggler is still your United States Heavyweight Champion. So moving on, we go into the World's Heavyweight title match. We see Mark Henry go against Randy Orton.
Which we've kind of been seeing the World Heavyweight title fall before the Divas title defenses on the pay-per-views, which I don't know. I'm not really all hip on that. I would think that the Divas would probably go on first.
I think they're just trying to give a nice balance. You know, you go a guy match, girl match, guy match. I think they're just trying to divvy it up.
The whole mix-up too was, you know, like you said inside when we were watching it, that usually a title picture closes out the pay-per-view. That didn't happen, which I would have liked to have seen the World Heavyweight title, CM Punk, Triple H, then John Cena, Del Rio, or switch the matches, have Cena, Del Rio, CM Punk, Triple H, and then Henry Orton.
Which either of those would have been a nice outcome.
I mean, SmackDown hasn't ended a pay-per-view in quite some time.
It has been quite some time. I totally agree with you. Excuse me. The thing about it is, backstage, from what I've heard, there's an unwritten rule that a title match closes a pay-per-view, and Night of Champions tonight was the exception. Triple H and CM Punk did go on last.
Yes.
But, you know, keep it short and sweet. Mark Henry and Randy Orton delivered. I mean, Randy Orton gave it all he had, and Mark Henry just was dominant. Multiple World's Strongest Slams into Randy Orton just could not get up anymore.
You know, it wasn't that, and you know what the funny thing was is that, you know, Orton tried everything in his arsenal. I mean, multiple RKOs, and just was power outed by Mark Henry.
He went for one RKO. Mark Henry just went no.
Yeah, and just pushed him off. Where instead of at one point in the match, he got down on the mat and he started, you know, hitting the mat, coiling up or whatever, getting ready for a strike. It was like, kick the guy in the freaking skull, and it would have been over. But no, he went over, and you know, he kind of like was gonna do something, like he was looking down at Henry, like he was debating what he wanted to do. Henry kind of gave him a hot shot by a stun gun, kind of like dragged him down. His neck went right across the second rope, and then that's when it was all Henry from there. And we saw Mark Henry pick up the win and the World Heavyweight title. And you look at the crowd, and the crowd's like, what the hell just happened? Like,
yeah, total this 15 years in the making. Mark Henry is the world's heavyweight champion.
I don't know if people were just in shock because they finally gave him the title. If they were in shock because of the match, I mean, in my mind, the match was good. It could have been a little bit better. I would have liked to have seen them go more, you know, more all out. It was a little slow in some areas, but, you know, I mean, the crowd just wasn't really into the match.
No, you know what it is? Mark Henry's a solid competitor that's proven himself, and he's really risen his game, and that's why I respect him.
Oh, I respect the hell out of Mark Henry.
But just let me finish my little thought, and I think you'll agree. Respect the hell out of Mark Henry. He's doing incredible, but people think back to, like you said the other day when we were talking, Sexual Chocolate Mark Henry. Mark Henry giving birth to the Hand with Mae Young. You know, I mean, sometimes you destroy a wrestler's credibility, and regardless of what you try to do to build it back, it's difficult. And I think a lot of the crowd remembered that, and a lot of the crowd was just in disbelief. Oh my God, Randy Orton, who's a lot of the people's out there's hero, got defeated.
I think, you know, like you know, the thing about this match, and it really stood out to me, was that, you know, there's two reasons why they probably gave the title to Henry, is because they need to have some kind of counteract for when Big Show and Kane come back. So now putting the title on Mark Henry was kind of a smart move, because now you'll have either Big Show Henry, because you know Big Show's going to come back and he's going to want blood, and Kane's going to come back and want blood.
What I was just about to say is, wouldn't it be perfect if Kane came back in time for Hell in a Cell in 2 weeks, and somehow Kane becomes the #1 contender? Because Hell in a Cell is where Kane made his debut.
Kane made his debut, but no, he had his title run late last year. Big Show needs it. Big Show
would be nice. I mean, Kane ran with that title.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really behind Kane as much anymore. I'm more of Big Show now.
Kane's a great competitor, but
it's again, you get these big guys, and then they get treated as a joke, and then they were expected to, you know, the WWE's expected to, you know, just throw it out there, and we're gonna assume we're gonna like it, and it's not. Kane isn't really good unless he's feuding with his brother.
Kane is awesome when he's feuding his brother, and Kane can deliver in the ring, but just Kane has been booked in a lot of the wrong match types. Yeah. Like Kane and Money in the Bank. I mean, yeah, he delivered, and I will give him credit where credit is due, but that would have been a spot better meant for like a CM Punk or a Kofi Kingston or somebody that's a high flyer, because that's what you expect in a ladder match.
Exactly.
But once in a blue moon, it's nice to have a brawler. But let's keep this moving. Mark Henry is your new World Heavyweight Champion. Then we go into Kelly Kelly versus Beth Phoenix for the Divas Championship. And I'll be honest, off the beginning, Kelly Kelly hit a couple impressive moves. I mean, she hit a huge Hurricane Rana. She hit a couple other impressive moves. Beth Phoenix started to dominate, and, you know, she was just kind of treating her like a rag doll, just kicking her, just pushing her.
Yeah.
And, you know what? I don't want to dwell on this too much, but an upset victory, Kelly's still the Divas champion.
My first of many future wives, Beth Phoenix did not win, and I'm kind of upset about that, so boo. I mean, I think she should have won. She was in her hometown. She dominated Kelly, plain and simple, and I don't know. I don't know what WWE is planning on doing. I think that they need to put the title on Beth, because right now, I mean, like I said, I respect the Divas division, but I want a woman that's going to go out there and she's going to be brutal. I don't want to see a girl come out there. I want to see a woman go out there and kick ass.
When it comes to technical wrestling ability, I do have to say Kelly definitely brought everything she knew tonight, and it was just enough to hold on to that strap. Just enough. But in a couple weeks, if they meet at the next pay-per-view, will it be enough? Only time will tell. We go into the next match, which is for the WWE Championship. We see Alberto Del Rio defend his WWE Undisputed title against John Cena. This probably was match of the night. I think this eclipsed Triple H CM Punk, to be honest. Except for there was a couple sick spots in CM Punk Triple H, and the end was real sick. But wrestling back and forth, my God, did Del Rio bring out the best in Cena, just like CM Punk brought out the best in Cena?
Oh no. CM Punk brought out the best in John Cena, and that's probably the best I've seen John Cena wrestle in years. And I don't know, I don't think that match even touched CM Punk John Cena, wrestling wise.
I think John Cena really raised the bar tonight, like he has been doing.
But the thing about that though is, going into the match, it was predictable that Del Rio was going to lose.
I still think there was a 50-50 chance, but you got to think, in 2 weeks, Del Rio's probably going to use his rematch clause. In 2 weeks, we got Hell in a Cell. The title could change hands again.
Well, then again, but like I also said inside, is that they might have John Cena just win the tonight, and then which he did, and then we see, you know,
he would have to defend it Hell in a Cell successfully, Vengeance successfully, to make it to Survivor Series.
Yeah, which WWE has no shame in having John Cena be the Superman.
Exactly. Now John Cena is a 12-time world champion, 10 times WWE, 2 times world heavyweight. But, you know, to sum it up, John Cena is your new WWE champion.
Of course, via STF.
Hey, Del Rio tried everything he could to kick out of that STF, and I was really hoping Alberto Del Rio...
Cena champion? Boo.
Not that happy about it. It's not that I dislike Cena, but I really would have liked to see Del Rio run with this. Del Rio could have done something incredible, just like he did when he first broke into WWE with the series with Ray, and actually, you know, storyline taking Ray out. I mean, I don't know, his championship reign just felt a little weak to me. Great competitor, kind of a weak reign, probably due mostly to the booking. Then we see CM Punk go against Triple H, stipulation being 2 stipulations, no disqualification, and if Triple H was to lose to CM Punk, he would have to resign as the COO of the WWE.
You know, this match, like, again, with the Mark Henry Orton, I kind of expected a lot more out of it. You know, with Triple H just coming back after 6 months of not being competing in in-ring action. You know, he did awesome, and you know, that's as much as you can really expect out of Triple H, because I mean, Triple H is probably one of the best technical wrestlers in WWE, alongside CM Punk and so many others. But I mean,
Triple H is at the level where he's known as a ring general. Yeah. There's only a few of them. Undertaker's a ring general. Triple H is a ring general.
Shawn was a ring general.
Shawn was a ring general. I mean, you get to this point in your career where you are so respected and you're so trusted within the ring. I mean, anybody can get into the ring with Triple H, and they know that long as they do what they're supposed to do, they'll go home safely. Yeah. Because Triple H isn't self-centered. He worries about the fellow competitor, and that's what makes him. That's part of making a good ring general.
With the then we see Triple H hit the first pedigree, and then that's when we see Miz and R-Truth come running out. You know, they had talked earlier in the night that after their match, that they kind of hinted that they were going to probably have something to do with the match tonight with Triple H, and the whole conspiracy thing, and the whole WWE and the conspiracy and the conspired and all that stuff that R-Truth spits out of his mouth.
Oh, the Miz is totally eating it up now too. I mean,
then we see them get into it. Then we see Johnny Laurinaitis come out with a referee, and then from there it just goes all downhill. We see CM Punk and Triple H fight back. take them out of the picture.
Well, the thing about it is, the referee gets knocked out. Laurinaitis comes down with a ref.
Yeah.
And at this point, Triple H was covering CM Punk. So, and Laurinaitis goes, oh, focus to him first. So that's the first clue that Laurinaitis is working against Triple H, which is very subtle, but if you noticed it, bam, then he gets the phone out. That's when Big Sexy comes down.
Not too long after that.
Not too long after that, exactly. And, you know, he hits CM Punk at first, but he also takes out the game. And
then he hits the jackknife on CM Punk. Then, just when you thought he was leaving, he goes outside and he starts ripping the announcer tables apart that he was going to go and jackknife Triple H through the table. Triple H hits Nash with the sledgehammer. Then we see Triple H get back in the ring and hits not the first or second pedigree, but the third pedigree of the night for the 1, 2, 3. And Triple H is still the COO. And after Nash came out, Laurinaitis was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, so we didn't really get much of an explanation for what's going on, but we do know, well, we've known in past weeks that Laurinaitis is pulling Nash's strings.
Yeah.
Laurinaitis is against Triple H.
But the thing is, here's the all-time, $1 million question. If Laurinaitis is pulling Nash's strings, who's pulling Laurinaitis' strings?
I think you might find out tomorrow night on Raw. If you haven't seen the video, check it out. I don't want to ruin it for anybody, but a big name is rumored to return to the WWE. It was supposed to be either tonight, which tonight has already happened, or tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. So I guess we pretty much covered the card for them.
Yes. So guys, thanks for watching our review. Like always, please check out F and True Click, F and True Entertainment, and the members of the F and True Click. Most Extreme Wrestling, We Are Pro Wrestling, the WCWite, and IROC and You Know It 91, and any other members that I am forgetting to mention, I'm sorry. So please check them out, and for F and True Wrestling, this is pretty much a wrap.
Yeah, this is a wrap for tonight. Brian Crazy.
JC Styles.
Thanks for kicking it with us for a minute, and we will see you tomorrow.